You do not need to be loud to be powerful. Have you ever felt like you were being left behind? When someone shows off their achievements, you rush to talk about your plans as if to prove that you are also on the right track. But then, nothing really changes. The goals remain just words on paper, your motivation fades after only a few days. The truth is, you are not weak. You are just leaking your energy through your words. You are losing the most precious thing, your focus. The modern world celebrates noise. People share everything, from their breakfast to their future plans. But the Stoics understood, when you speak too soon, you take away the energy needed for action. Epictetus once said, "Do not talk about your philosophy, live it." Those who talk too much seek validation. Those who stay silent seek mastery. The talker wants to be seen. The silent one wants to be in control. And in the end, the one who controls himself is the one who controls his destiny. Do you realize that? When you are silent, everything becomes clearer. No more noise, no more crowds defining your worth. There is only you and the work you must get done. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it does not benefit your mind, keep silent." You do not need to speak in every argument. You do not need to react to every criticism. You do not need to prove anything. You just need to focus on building yourself. Micro action: turn off your phone. Take a deep breath. Write down 3 things you must accomplish today. Do not share it with anyone. Just do it. Drop this: I choose silence over noise. Look around you. People talk about their goals, but few actually act. People brag about discipline, but few truly have it. People want success fast, but they fear silence, because in silence they must face themselves. The Stoics called that the ritual of training. Solitude is not a punishment. It is the forge of strength. The less you talk, the more you can observe. The less you show off, the more space you have to grow. Seneca wrote, "No one has ever lost control because of silence, but many have lost everything because of their words." Let the world be noisy. Let others argue. You just need to stand still, breathe, and work, because silent actions echo louder than noisy words. Drop this: I act in silence. I dominate in silence. You do not need others to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself long enough to stay silent and build. Your silence today is the seed of tomorrow's empire. No one sees you practicing. No one sees you resisting temptation. No one sees you overcoming fear. But one day they will see the results, and they will not understand how you did it. You will smile because you know you chose the path of the 1%, the path without noise. Only discipline, consistency, and complete self-control. The true hero is the one who conquers himself. Marcus Aurelius dropped this: I control myself. When others talk, you act. When others show off, you focus. When others are loud, you stay silent. That is the difference between those who seek attention and those who create results. Between the exhausted talker and the calm warrior who rules his own life. And if you are hearing these words, it means the strongest part of you is awakening. Drop this: I choose strength. I choose silence. Silence is not avoidance. It is the foundation of strength. Silence is something the modern world has lost. People fear quietness because in it they must hear their true voice. When there is no noise, they are forced to face the question they always avoid: who am I when no one is watching? But the Stoics found the answer over 2,000 years ago. They lived in chaotic empires, in battles where the sound of steel against steel filled the air every day. And yet, amid all that noise, they chose silence, not because they were afraid, but because they understood that wisdom and discipline can only grow in stillness. When you are silent, you learn more. When you listen, you understand deeper. Epictetus: silence is the space of observation. It allows you to see what the noisy never will, and the talker gets distracted easily. The silent one holds the power, and the talker speaks to be noticed. The silent one acts to stay focused. Modern science has confirmed what the Stoics already knew long ago. When you are silent, your brain enters a regenerative state. New neural connections are formed. Focus, memory, and creativity are restored. A study from Harvard University found that just 10 minutes of silence each day can improve decision-making and reduce stress by 40%. In other words, silence is not only a mental strength, it is a biological weapon. The less you speak, the more you conserve mental energy for what truly matters, to work, to train, and to evolve. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoics knew that silence is the first step toward control, because once you control your mouth, you begin to control your mind. And once you control your mind, you dominate your life. The noisy think they are winning, but in truth, they are being controlled by their emotions. Every unnecessary word is a piece of energy lost. Every impulsive reaction is a moment of lost control. Meanwhile, the silent are not dragged around. They are not ruled by their environment. They do not live to react, they live to create. Their silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of power. Imagine this: a person walks into a crowded room without saying a word, yet their presence makes the entire space fall silent. That is the energy of someone who has mastered stillness. No shouting, no proving. They simply stand, and the world adjusts around them. That is what the Stoics called inner gravity, the force within. When you train your silence, you begin to radiate that gravity. People feel it, even when you say nothing. You become a quiet leader, not because you chase power, but because you are no longer shaken by the world's noise. Micro-action. Tonight, before you sleep, sit in silence for 10 minutes. No music, no phone. Just breathe deeply and ask yourself, did I act in alignment with the person I want to become today? If the answer is not yet, do not blame yourself. Just be silent, acknowledge it, and begin again tomorrow. Silence is where the soul regains its strength. Seneca. Drop this. I master myself in silence. The silence you are building today will be the foundation for every victory ahead. No one will see the process, but you know, you are changing, you are forging a strength that no one can take away, because the world may be noisy, but within you, there is a silent, steady mountain that cannot be moved. And from that mountain, you will see everything clearly. Who is real, who is fake, what matters, and what does not. That is when you step into another level, no longer reacting, but directing your life in silence and strength. Drop this. I choose clarity over chaos. Rule 1. Stop trying to prove yourself. The one who needs to prove himself is the one who does not truly believe in himself. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you explained, defended, tried to make someone understand you? How many times have you felt the need to say, I have value too, just because you feared being looked down on? That feeling is very real, as if you do not speak, people will forget that you exist. But the very moment you talk too much to be validated, you are giving away your power. The Stoics understood that every effort to prove yourself comes from fear. Fear of not being good enough, fear of being left behind, fear of being misunderstood. But Epictetus said, if you want respect, stop seeking it from others. Act in a way that makes it impossible for them to disrespect you. That is the difference between the Stoics and the crowd. The Stoic does not say, I am strong. He lives strong. He does not say, I am disciplined. He practices discipline every day. He does not need to prove anything, because the truth does not need to be explained. When you try to prove yourself, you give others the power to price your worth. You say, I am good, I can do it, which means you are begging for recognition. But truly strong people do not need to be believed. They know the truth and they let time speak for them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, do not let praise or criticism from others rule you. Be like the rock that waves crash upon and still stands firm. You do not need to explain. You do not need to prove. You do not need anyone to understand you right now, because one day the results will force them to understand. But this is not easy, because you were taught from childhood that you have value only when you are recognized. You study hard to be praised. You work hard to be promoted. You post online to be liked. Slowly you become a slave to attention, and that is when you lose yourself. People do not truly care about you. They care about how your image makes them feel, and you trade your inner peace for a few seconds of validation. The Stoics called this the grand foolishness of our age, trying to persuade the world that you have value instead of living so that your value is undeniable. The only way out of this loop is to be silent and take action. Every time you want to explain, stop. Ask yourself, Am I doing this for the sake of truth or because I'm afraid of being misunderstood? If it is fear, be silent. If it is truth, act. Action does not need commentary. Like an athlete training in the dark. No one sees, no one cares, but then one day the spotlight turns on and everyone goes quiet because they realize he did not talk, he became. Seneca reminded us, live in such a way that others admire you, even if you never say a word. Micro-action. In the next 24 hours, do one good deed, one disciplined act without telling anyone. No posting, no telling, no need for anyone to know. Only you and yourself know. Feel that quiet energy. It is real strength. Drop this. I do not prove, I act. Remember, the Stoic does not say, I am right. He simply is right. He does not need certificates. He does not need applause. He does not need permission. For he understands that noise hides emptiness. Silence is the echo of true power. When you no longer want to prove yourself, you become free. You are no longer bound by anyone else's gaze. You are no longer judged by anyone else's standards. You no longer live a role. You return to yourself, the one who moves forward step by step, without noise, without needing praise. Think of true warriors. They do not need to shout to intimidate. Their strength radiates from calm. They do not need to say, I will win. They simply step out and fight. So do you. Do not waste your breath on explanations. Use it to breathe deeply, steady your mind, and act. Because silence does not make you small. It makes you calmly dangerous. And one day, people will ask, why does he never say anything and yet he is so respected? The answer is because he never needed to speak. He let his actions speak for him. Starting today, every time you want to prove yourself, stop, breathe in, smile, and remember, you do not need to be understood. You only need to keep moving forward in silence. Not everyone deserves to hear your story. Name Epictetus. Drop this. I do not chase validation. I build value. You do not need to prove anything because true power is not in whether others believe you. It is in this. You believe in yourself so deeply that you no longer need them. Rule 2. Stay silent while you are growing. Let the seed grow in silence. Do not show it off while it is still in the ground. Have you ever noticed that every time you tell someone your plan, you lose a piece of your motivation? You tell your friends, I am going to train every day. You post online, I am about to start a new project. In that moment, you feel excited. People praise you. You feel proud. But a few days later, you stop. Why? Because your mind received the reward before you truly earned it. It is a subtle trap of the brain. It makes you think that saying it equals doing it. But the Stoics knew real achievement is not born from words, but from quiet discipline. Epictetus said, do not talk about your philosophy, live it. The weak need an audience to feel valuable. The strong need discipline to prove it to themselves. Every boast is a trade. You sell your energy to buy a few minutes of attention, but the Stoic lets silence become the foundation of action. When you tell someone your goals, your brain releases dopamine, the reward hormone. It gives you the feeling that you have done something even though you have not started, and because you have been rewarded, you lose the real drive to act. That is why many people who say, I will change, never change. The Stoic chooses a different path. He does not say, I will do it. He simply does it. And when the results come, he remains silent. Because to him, what is great does not need to be announced. It announces itself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, be like the river. It flows without speaking. Let your deeds show who you are. Modern people fear silence. They fear that if they do not speak, no one will know that they are trying. But think about it. Are you growing for yourself or for others' eyes? Are you training to become stronger or just to be seen as disciplined? If you truly want to become a warrior, you must learn to build in the dark. No applause, no spotlight, no need for witnesses, only you and the quiet progress you alone can see each day. Seneca said, when others are still talking, do. When others are still showing off, advance. Imagine a seed. When it is sown, it cannot boast. It is under the ground, under pressure, in the dark, in the rain, in the cold. But it is precisely in that silence that it grows roots. And when the roots are strong enough, it rises to the surface without anyone lifting it. So do you. If you are growing, be the seed. Do not reveal yourself too soon when your roots are still weak, because a single gust of wind can rip you out. Silence helps you fortify the foundation. The foundation helps you bear the light. When you are strong enough, you do not need to speak. Others will feel it. Micro action. For the next 7 days, keep silent about every plan you are working on. No sharing, no telling, no need for anyone to know. Pour all that energy into one small action each day. When you want to talk, remind yourself, I am not done. I am building. Drop this. I build in silence. I rise in darkness. The world now has too many people who talk without doing. They want results, but they do not want solitude. They want recognition, but they do not want to endure silence. But the Stoics knew that all greatness begins in solitude. No one claps for you when you train at 5 in the morning. No one credits you when you skip the party to work. No one understands you when you choose silence over arguing. But that is why you will rise. You do not need to tell anyone about the road you are walking. Let them see the dust after your steps. Paraphrased from Seneca, picture this scene: a man forging a sword in the night. No one knows who he is. No one sees what he does. Only the sound of steel, the blaze of fire, and heavy breathing. Then one day, he steps onto the battlefield, and without a word, but when his sword cuts the air, the whole world goes silent. That is the power of one who is trained in the dark. So do you. Let your work be the only sound that rings out. Do not let your mouth speak for what your hands can accomplish, because when you speak too soon, you turn the mountain peak into an illusion. But when you are silent and truly climb, you will stand there alone, looking down at the world that doubted you. Not everyone will understand the path you are on, but you do not need them to understand. You only need to keep going. One day, when you reach the summit, those who did not believe will ask, "How did you do it?" And you will simply smile, because they have no idea how long you were silent. Drop this. I do not talk about growth. I live it. Remember this. You do not need to say that you are changing. You only need to truly change. You do not need to say that you are improving. You only need to truly improve. And one day, the world will no longer hear you say, "I will succeed." It will only see you living in that success. The wise work in silence and let time tell the story. Marcus Aurelius. Drop this. I grow in silence. I conquer in peace. Rule 3. Know what deserves your reaction. You do not need to join every battle. A wise warrior chooses silence in the small wars. Think about the last time you lost your temper. Someone said something that bothered you. A negative comment online, a jab from a coworker, a family member who did not understand you. You reacted immediately. You lost your calm, your energy, and your focus. And then you asked yourself, why did I just do that? That is what the Stoics warned about thousands of years ago. It is not the strong who fight in every battle. It is the weak, because they are driven by emotion. The truly strong choose the battles they will fight. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens that harms us, but how we respond to it." This is the compass of self-control. You cannot control other people, but you can control your response. And when you learn that, you hold the key to inner peace. Impulsive reactions destroy your power. You can train, read, and meditate, but a single sentence that hits your pride can make it all collapse. Why? Because you allow others to steer your mind. The person who insults you does not truly have power. Your reaction is what hands them the power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When someone insults you, remember they reveal themselves, not you. Do not let your mind be stolen." Each time you react in anger, you put the controls of your life into someone else's hands. They speak, you rage, they go silent. You worry, they criticize. You scramble to prove yourself. You become a puppet in their game. The Stoics called this emotional slavery. A Stoic warrior does not fight for ego. He fights for purpose. He knows not every noise deserves a reply. Not every attack deserves a reaction. Not everyone is worthy of your energy. Silence is not losing. Silence is victory on a higher plane. When you refuse to be dragged down, you remain on solid ground, the ground of self-mastery. You do not need to put out every small flame. Save your strength for the fire that could actually burn down your path. Seneca once reminded us, anger begins in madness and ends in regret. Be practical. The modern world is full of temptations that bait your reaction. A comment online, someone calling you useless, a snide remark that gets under your skin. They are all little sparks. You can choose to pour gasoline on them, or you can step over them in silence. Every time you choose silence, you are training an invisible muscle called control. Micro-action. The next time someone makes you angry, pause and count to 10. Do not respond right away. Ask yourself, will this matter to the direction of my life 5 years from now? If the answer is no, smile and move on. Drop this. I choose calm over chaos. The Stoic does not let the world decide his mood. He is like a calm sea. The waves may crash, but they never touch the depths. His silence is not fear. It is the understanding that calm is the highest form of strength. Look at people who are truly successful. They rarely react. They do not waste words on explanations. When they are misunderstood, they do not defend themselves. They let time and results do that work. They do not argue because they are busy building. If it is not within your control, do not let it control you. Marcus Aurelius. You will notice this. The more you mature, the less you react. Not because you do not feel, but because you understand that emotion is not a compass. It is a signal. Emotion tells you what is happening, but you decide what is worth acting on. Sometimes silence does more than protect you, it forces others to look at themselves. Because when you do not react, they have no one left to blame. That is when they must face the truth. This is the quiet power of the Stoic, when you are no longer moved by noise. Try this. Tomorrow, when someone irritates you, do not argue. Observe, feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. Look at that person, give a slight smile, and think, they are trying to control me, but only I have the key. You will feel something unusual and freedom. That is real freedom because you are no longer pulled by anger, jealousy, or fear. You are in command of yourself. And whoever commands himself, commands the world. From today, choose your battles. Let others burn their energy on meaningless arguments. You save that energy to go farther, deeper, and stronger. People may think you are cold, arrogant, or distant. That is all right. You do not need them to understand. You only need to govern yourself in silence. If someone makes you angry, they have defeated you twice. First by the insult, and second by your reaction. Seneca. Drop this. I control my reactions. I protect my energy. The Stoic does not seek peace by running away from the world. He finds it within the world. In each reaction, he chooses to hold back. And when you learn to be silent in the chaos, you become a true warrior, one who does not need to defeat anyone because he has already defeated himself. Drop this. I master calm. I lead myself. Rule 4. Focus on what you can control. The weak are controlled by the world. The strong control themselves. Have you ever woken up and felt like everything was slipping out of your hands? An unexpected email scrambles your plans. A judgmental comment weighs on your mind. A small, trivial event ruins your entire day. This happens not because the world is too chaotic, but because you're trying to control what is not yours to control. The Stoics had a core principle. There are two things in life, what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus. If you truly grasp this principle, you will change how you live, how you think, and how you respond. Most people are exhausted not because they do too much, but because they worry about what is outside their reach. You cannot control the weather, but you can control your response to it. You cannot control what others say, but you can control how you answer. You cannot control the outcome, but you can control the effort. And when you pour all your energy into what you can control, you will find life becoming clearer, simpler, and lighter than ever. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is within your power, give it your all. If it is not, do not be concerned." The Stoic does not waste energy on what he cannot change. He does not complain. He does not blame. He does not wait for miracles. He acts within a circle and releases the rest. That is why he remains calm in the storm. Look at the reality of today. We are pulled into comparisons. Someone else is richer, more famous, living a perfect life. We forget that social media is not reality. Every time you compare, you pull your focus away from the only thing you truly control, yourself. The Stoic knows that comparison is the enemy of peace, because when you compare, you live someone else's life, not your own. You look up and feel lacking. You look sideways and feel slow. You look back and feel small. And in that time, you ignore the one action that can change everything, taking one step forward. Seneca once said, "He who is not content with what he has will never be content no matter how much is added." When you focus on what you control, you take back your power. You are no longer led by other people's emotions. You no longer fear failure because you understand that results never define you. What defines you is how you act when victory is uncertain. Imagine a Stoic archer. He focuses on his stance, his breath, the draw, the angle. He does not control the wind. He does not control whether the arrow hits the bullseye, but he controls every action of his own before he releases the string, and that is all he needs for peace. In the same way, you cannot control how others treat you, but you can choose to keep your dignity. You cannot control the events of life, but you can choose to walk through them with steadiness. Micro action. Each morning, draw 2 columns, what I can control and what I cannot control. Whenever you feel anxious, read it again. If what worries you sits in the cannot column, set it down. If it sits in the can column, take action now. Drop this, I focus on what I control. The Stoic lives simply, but he is not passive. He understands that letting go does not mean giving up. It means concentrating all strength on what he can change. This is the strategy of the wise. Focus on action, ignore the result. Focus on discipline, ignore the noise. Focus on the present, ignore the past and the future. If you obsess over what is not yours to govern, you will lose your freedom. Epictetus. When you are no longer scattered, you become extremely dangerous in the best way. Because you no longer waste energy on useless emotions. You invest it all into real progress, and each day you move one small step forward. While others stand still and complain, the world challenges you not to break you, but to see whether you have learned to control yourself. Rain falls to test your patience. Criticism comes to test your calm. Failure arrives to test your resolve. Every response is an exam. Have you mastered yourself yet? When you know how to govern yourself, no one can govern you. No one can take your peace. No one can shake you because you stand on the ground of discipline. Marcus Aurelius said, "The strength of the mind is its ability to stand still in the storm, watch a mountain, winds blow, rain falls, thunder crashes, and yet it stands, not reacting, not blaming, not afraid." So it is with the Stoic. He understands that the storm is only nature's test. And you, if you want to become a true Stoic warrior, learn to stand like that mountain. Focus on what you can do, not what you hope the world will do. Focus on action, not the outcome. Focus on yourself, not the world, because once you master yourself, the world loses its power to break you. Second micro action, when you feel disappointed, ask yourself, which column does this belong to? And if it sits outside your control, breathe in and say, I let it go. I return to what I can do right now. Drop this. I control myself. I let go of the rest. When you stop trying to control the world, you begin to master yourself. And when you master yourself, nothing can subdue you. This is the foundation of Stoic strength. You do not need luck. You do not need perfection. You need discipline, awareness, and an unshakable calm. Begin each day by reminding yourself, today I will control myself. Marcus Aurelius. Drop this. I master myself. I focus only on what I control. Rule 5. Stay silent when you succeed. Do not rush to speak when you win. Silence is the roar of one who has mastered himself. Have you ever achieved something big? And what was your first reflex? Tell someone about it. Post it online. Wait for congratulations. And then a few hours later, the excitement disappears. The victory feels drained and you begin to feel empty. Not because you do not deserve it, but because you shared that energy too early. The Stoics understood this long ago. Every victory is a pure source of energy. If you keep it to yourself, it nourishes you. And if you waste it through words, you lose the focus you need to take the next step. Seneca once wrote, "No one loses self-control because of silence, but many lose everything because of words." When you succeed, people will pay attention. Some will admire, some will envy, some will hope you fail so they can feel safer. And if you speak too soon, you are opening the door for all of that energy to pour in. You turn your victory into someone else's target. You take away the quiet space that is the most precious reward after effort. Success is a double-edged sword. It can lift you, but it can also lull you to sleep. The feeling of "I have arrived" is the most dangerous enemy of progress. The only way to avoid that trap is silence. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning, when you succeed, remember you are only fulfilling your duty, not doing something extraordinary. That is not fake humility. It is the awareness of a person who does not let the ego cloud reason. Success is not for show. It is a reminder that you are on the right path and you must continue. When you boast, you spend energy. When you are silent, you store it. Others speak to be recognized. The Stoic is silent to preserve inner strength. Silence after victory is not coldness. It is the sign of one who has risen above the need to be seen. Think of an archer. He hits the mark. No one needs to say, well done." He simply gives a slight nod, resets the bow, and takes the next shot. That is the attitude of someone who knows that victory is not an ending, but the beginning of new discipline. Today's world makes you believe you must show off to exist. If success is not posted, nobody knows. If nobody knows, nobody recognizes it. If nobody recognizes it, you feel invisible. But the Stoic does not need to prove anything. He knows that true light never needs a stage. It shines on its own, even when no one is watching. Epictetus said, "Do not let the admiration of others pull you away from reason. Let your mind be stronger than praise." You do not need applause, because the person who needs clapping to continue will stop when no one is looking. But the person who needs only discipline will keep going, even when the whole world is silent. Micro-action: when you achieve a small win, do not tell anyone. Keep it to yourself for 48 hours. Use that time to write, "What did I learn from this victory?" Turn joy into a lesson, not a post. Drop this: "I stay silent after success." Look at those who are truly great. You rarely hear them talk about success. They speak about the journey, the discipline, and the failures, because they know success does not say much, but the process says everything. When you stay silent, you make others curious. When you keep working, you make them respectful. And when you remain consistent, you make them admit that you do not need to prove anything. You are the proof. The Stoic treats silence and success as a ritual. After each victory, he does not celebrate with a party, but with reflection. Have I kept my mind steady? If the answer is not yet, he knows he has not truly won. Because real victory is not in the result. It is in not losing yourself when the result arrives. When you succeed, you'll see two kinds of people around you: those who sincerely congratulate you and those who quietly feel unique. The Stoic chooses to face both with silence, not because he is arrogant, but because he knows his response is the only thing worth controlling. You do not need to answer praise with boasting. You do not need to answer envy with proof. You only need to keep working as if nothing happened. Seneca wrote, "When others look at you with envy, do not answer with self-satisfaction. Let your patience silence them." Staying silent in success does not mean denying your achievement. It means you choose growth over complacency. You know that if you stop to show off, you will forget there is more to do. If you are too busy enjoying it, you will forget the road is long. And if you seek recognition from others, you will lose the deepest connection each point with yourself. Success only truly matters when it makes you more disciplined, not more complacent. If a win makes you stop, that is the sweetest failure. If a win makes you silent, that is the sign of a mind that has matured. Second micro-action: each time you reach a goal, do not celebrate yet. Spend 5 minutes writing, "What helped me achieve this?" Then write, "What could make me lose it?" That awareness will keep you steady on the long road. Drop this: "I celebrate in silence. I grow in discipline." Remember this: The loud person after victory is chasing attention. The silent person after victory is preparing for the next step. You must choose one of the two. When you stay silent in victory, you turn it into fuel for the journey ahead. You do not stop to show off, you continue to dominate. Silence is the voice of the true victor. Marcus Aurelius: a true warrior does not shout after a win. He wipes the sweat, sharpens the sword, and goes back to training, because he knows the next battle is always waiting. And when you can remain silent, even in victory, you have reached the highest level of self-mastery, a level where the world can no longer touch you. Drop this: I win quietly. I prepare for the next battle. Rule 6. Turn solitude into a training ground for the mind. The one who fears being alone is the one who has never met himself. Modern people fear solitude more than failure. No voices, they turn on music. No messages, they open social media. No one beside them, they reach for something to fill the gap. But the Stoics understood this. It is in solitude that the mind truly matures. When you are alone, there is no cheering, no recognition, no one who cares what you're doing. There is only you and the truth about yourself. No more roles, no more images, no more masks. You face what you always avoid: fear, weakness, the feeling of meaninglessness, and the quiet voice within. If you dare to face them without running, you are training your mind like steel in a furnace. Seneca once wrote, "No one is free who is still afraid of being alone." Solitude is not the enemy. It is the most faithful test of your soul. It asks, when no one is watching, do you still keep your discipline? When there is no encouragement, do you still move forward? When there is no spotlight, do you still work as if the whole world is watching? The Stoics called this inner training in the dark. All greatness begins where no one can see. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal each night, not to publish it, but to straighten his mind. No one read it, no one praised it, but that practice helped him become Rome's most clear-sighted emperor. Solitude does not kill you. It strips away the layers of pretense you once mistook for yourself. And when the last layer falls, you finally see the person you have been searching for, yourself. But to arrive there, you must pass through a dangerous region. The region of silence. At first, it is frightening. No one left to talk to, no busyness to cover the emptiness. You will hear the small voice in your head. What am I doing? Am I enough? Do not be afraid. This is not weakness. This is the purification of the mind. If you endure the silence long enough, peace begins to appear. You realize that you do not need the world to bear witness to your worth. Epictetus said, "If you wish to go far, accept walking alone for a while." Solitude reconnects you with what the noise once stole: clarity. In solitude, you learn what truly matters. You begin to listen to your own thoughts, emotions, and intuition, things you can never hear clearly in a crowd. Solitude does not kill the dream, it corrects the direction of the dream. Imagine this: a warrior training with his sword deep in the forest. No applause, no audience, only wind and breath. Every swing is another meeting with fear. And when he leaves the forest, he does not need to say a word. His silent energy speaks for him. Micro-action. Each day, give yourself 1 hour of solitude. No phone, no social media, no music. Only you, paper, and a pen. Write down every thought without needing it to be neat or good. After 1 week, read it again. You will be surprised by what your mind truly wants to say. Drop this: I train my mind in silence. Solitude is not only where you find yourself, it is where you lay the foundation of mental strength. When you learn to stand firmly on your own, you no longer need anyone else to feel complete. You become free from every form of dependency. The Stoics believe this. The truly strong person is the one who can be happy even when he has only himself. Not because the world is better, but because he is already at peace inside. When you no longer fear being alone, you become someone the world cannot control. You no longer seek love to fill a hole. You share love because you are already full within. Marcus Aurelius said, "Dwell within yourself as in a temple." That is the most beautiful image of solitude. There is a temple within you. Each day you spend time there, silent, aware, steady. No one can enter if you do not allow it. That temple needs no light from outside because it shines from within. When others fear solitude, you choose it. When they run from silence, you walk into it, because you know that in that silence you are being reborn. You are no longer ruled by crowds, by trends, by opinions. You become a person with an inner frame of reference, one who lives by principles, not by noise. Second micro action, choose one day each week to be completely unplugged. No talking, no internet, no notifications. Spend time walking, breathing, reading, or meditating. You do not need to do anything. You only need to be there. Solitude is not escaping the world. It is returning inward so you can step out stronger. Drop this. I am at peace when I am alone. Today's world teaches people that solitude equals failure, but the Stoics know that solitude equals freedom. When you sit in silence, you are not lonely. You are with the most important person, yourself. You learn how to talk to yourself, encourage yourself, correct yourself. And one day, you will no longer need anyone to pull you up because you are strong enough to stand on your own, in silence, with steadiness, and with clarity. He who can be alone and still be at peace possesses the whole world. Seneca. The Stoic does not run from solitude. He enters it as he would enter a training hall for the mind, where the will is hardened and the soul is washed clean of the world's noise. If you are in a season of silence, do not be afraid. It is not a sign that you're lost. It is proof that you are becoming strong. Drop this. I grow in solitude. I master myself. Rule 7. Let results speak. Words can move people, but results are what make the world fall silent. There is a moment that every Stoic warrior knows well, when you no longer need to say, I will do it, because you are doing it. When you do not need to say, I will change, because everyone can already see the change. The world is full of talkers. They promise, they declare, they insist. But when you look again, they are still in the same place, because they do not understand that words never replace action. You can say 1,000 times, I will succeed. But if you do not act, you are lying to yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, act in such a way that words become unnecessary. That sentence is the Stoic core. Results are the only language the world respects. You do not need to prove, you do not need to persuade, you do not need to argue. You only need to act, steadily, with discipline, without stopping. Today's world is obsessed with progress updates. People say they are about to do something big, in the process of changing, working on growth. They live in the illusion of preparation, but they never finish. Meanwhile, the Stoic chooses the opposite path. Act in silence and let results speak. At first, you may go unnoticed. No one cares that you stay up late, rise early, train, study, and grind in the quiet. But then, one day, people will see, and they will not understand how you did it. That is the reward of the one who does not talk, only does. Seneca said, let your actions carry so far that words are unnecessary. When you act, you send a signal to the universe that you are serious. No more I will, no more I want, only I am doing. The universe does not respond to promises, it responds to the frequency of consistency. Every action, even a small one, is a vow. I am done speaking, I am executing. The Stoic understands that time does not care about intentions, it only counts results. Every minute that passes without action is an empty sentence. You can dream of a better version of yourself, but only action makes it real. Remember, no one is respected for what they say they will do. They are respected for what they have done. The Stoic lives by this rule every day. They do not promise, they do not boast, they execute in silence, and they let results become a voice louder than any advertisement. Words are wind, actions have weight. Epictetus, paraphrased. People may doubt you, but they cannot doubt your results. When your work is real, your results shield you from every accusation. You do not need to argue with anyone. Just keep moving forward. Micro action. For the next 7 days, do not talk about your goals. Do not explain. Do not tell. Do not post a status that says, I am trying. Just act each day, at least one concrete step. When you feel the urge to share, remind yourself, I do not need to speak yet. I am letting results prepare the words for me. Drop this. I speak through results. The Stoic never measures self-worth by compliments or attention. They measure it by the consistency of action. One day they train, no one knows. Second day, Still no one cares. On the 100th day, results appear, and others call them a genius, but only they know it is the fruit of repetition in silence. As for you, how many times have you stopped simply because no one saw your effort? That is the mistake of the inconsistent. The world does not reward intention. It rewards those who are patient long enough to turn intention into reality. When you let results speak, you no longer need to justify yourself. People may doubt, criticize, or mock you, but they will fall silent when they see the truth. Their silence, that's the applause. You do not need them to say, "You are great." You only need them to be unable to ignore you because your results speak louder than any words. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Do not waste time telling others what you will become. Be that person." The Stoic does not need to announce goals. They show them through daily action. They do not need to assert toughness. They prove it by refusing to quit. That is why they advance without noise. When you speak less, you act more. When you act more, you create results. And when results arrive, you do not need to say anything. People will speak for you, not with praise, but with quiet recognition, the most honest kind, because it does not come from emotion, but from undeniable fact. Second microaction. Each time you want to talk about what you are doing, stop. Instead of speaking, add one small action to your list. One email sent, one page finished, 1 hour of training. Let your work make the sound. Drop this. I prove nothing, I show results. There will always be people who talk, argue, and boast, but the Stoic walks in silence. No need for a guide, no need for an audience, because they know results never betray the persistent. Every step you take in, silence today is a thunderclap in the future. Your silence today is tomorrow's echo. Stoic Rise Act: do not talk. Build, do not brag. Focus, do not complain, because what you do in the dark will shine where the light cannot hide it. The Stoic lets action speak for him, no explanations, no applause, no witnesses needed, only discipline, consistency, and the conviction that today's silence will become tomorrow's undeniable proof. Drop this. I let results speak. I rise in silence. Transformation of identity. Becoming the 1% Stoic warrior. When you are silent, the world finally hears your true voice. You have walked through 7 rules, 7 doors into 7 levels of the mind. Each rule like a bar of red-hot iron, and when you touch it, it hurts. But that pain forges steel, the steel within you, steady, calm, solid, and unbreakable. Now, you are no longer who you used to be. Your old self lived in reaction. Your old self talked too much, compared too much, feared too much. Your old self lived to be seen instead of living to be respected. But today, after this journey, a new person is rising. One who does not need the crowd, one who does not need to prove anything, one who needs only himself. Your silence is no longer an escape. It is a declaration of power. You understand that all the noise out there is only a test to see whether you are still enough to keep your composure. The world says, show off, argue, display. You simply smile and do not answer, because you now know true strength never needs proof. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you master your mind, nothing outside can harm you." And you, sitting here now, have already walked half that road. You are learning to govern yourself, to be still in chaos, to advance in silence, to conserve energy while others lose it to meaningless things. Now you feel a small change inside, not a burst of temporary excitement, but a deep calm, as if you have found an ancient power sleeping in your chest. That is the identity of the Stoic warrior. A Stoic warrior does not need a battlefield. His battlefield is himself. His enemies are not other people, but laziness, fear, and distraction inside his own mind. Each morning he wakes, it is a new battle. Discipline versus emotion, focus versus distraction, words versus action. And each time he chooses silence, he wins. No one can conquer the world who has not first conquered himself. Seneca, the Stoic, does not wait for inspiration. He creates inspiration through action. He does not need perfect conditions because he understands. Challenges are what create the stronger version, so do you. Every hardship, every insult, every misunderstanding, not to discourage you, but to test whether you have truly awakened. When others complain, you give thanks. When others boast, you remain silent. When others lament, you take action. You are no longer like them. You have moved to another level. A Stoic warrior does not need to say, I am strong. He shows it in how he lives, in the quiet of his gaze, in the calm he carries through the storm. And now you are learning to become such a person. Imagine this. One morning, you rise early in a quiet room. No one pushes you, no one cares. There's only you, your breath, and your will. You look in the mirror and see that the chaos in your eyes is gone. Only calm, determination, and gratitude remain. You smile, not because you have arrived, but because you have found the true direction. That is the power of self-mastery. Not muscle, not fame, not authority. It is the power of stillness, a power that cannot be taken, bought, or shaken. Epictetus said, if you want freedom, learn to control your desires and your fears. You are doing that. You are training a kind of strength that no one can see, and yet everyone who meets you can feel. It is the energy of a person who has fought and won the war within. Micro-action. Begin each day with a Stoic ritual. Before you touch your phone, take a deep breath and ask, what is within my control today? Then focus only on that. Nothing more, nothing less. Each day you will feel steadier, clearer, stronger. Drop this. I lead myself. I am unshakable. Now look back on the road you have walked. You learned to stop proving yourself. You did that because you trust yourself. You learned to be silent while growing, and because you respect your energy. You learned to choose your reactions because you refuse emotional slavery. You learned to focus on what you can control because that's the key to peace. You learn to be silent in success, and because you choose growth over complacency. You learn to make solitude your ally because you know you are stronger there. And finally, you learn to let results speak because you live the truth, not the performance. You are no longer merely a student of Stoicism, you are living it. The world outside will not change in one night, but you have changed. And you, with the still posture, will make the world change through the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you act. Others live to make noise. You live to make impact. Others chase the spotlight. You become the light. Others fear silence. You find strength in it. The true hero needs no outer victory. He wins himself every day. And Marcus Aurelius, from now on, when you wake each morning, remember, you are no longer a seeker of willpower. You are a living form of discipline. You are no longer the one who says, I will try. You are the one who does. You are no longer waiting for motivation. You are the source of it. And every breath, every act, every moment of silence is a vow that says, I am a Stoic warrior. I cannot be subdued. I lead myself. Drop this. I am the 1%. I rise in silence. Closing ritual. The vow of the Stoic warrior. This journey does not end. It has only just begun. If you have come this far, it is not by accident. You have listened, you have felt, and somewhere in your heart you know you are changing. No longer the person dragged around by emotions, no longer the person who lives for approval, no longer the person who talks much, promises much, but does little. You are becoming the one who stays silent and acts. The world outside will remain noisy. There will still be people who say you are too serious and too cold, too different. They do not understand that you do not seek comfort, you seek control. That you do not seek praise, you seek inner strength. You do not need noise to assert yourself because your silence already resounds. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, do not wait for others to teach you how to live. Live in a way that makes others want to learn from you. That is the path you are on. The path of the 1% Stoic warriors. Those who do not flaunt the journey, do not chase the light, but forge themselves in the dark so they can shine for real. I want you to do one thing right now, a simple ritual, but a powerful one. Inhale, hold for 3 seconds, then exhale slowly. Look straight at the screen and say quietly, I control myself. I act in silence. I rule through discipline. Now write in the comments below, as a vow etched into your mind, I choose silence. I choose strength. This is not just a sentence, it is your oath that from today forward, you will live differently, act differently, and become who you were born to be. If this journey has touched you, like this video, to spread the positive energy. Share it with someone lost in the noise, because perhaps a single line here is enough to wake them. And subscribe to Stoic Rise, where each video is not just words, but a ritual that awakens the warrior identity within you. This is not the end. This is the starting point. From now on, you no longer live to be noticed. You live to change yourself day by day, breath by breath. He who masters himself, masters destiny. Stoic Rise. And if these words speak to you, write it down, to carve it into your awareness, to let the Stoic community know you are here. Drop this: I rise in silence. Stoic Rise, where still souls become great together. No noise, no boasting, no stopping, only action, evolution, and ascent, in silence, in strength, and in wakefulness. Drop this once more: I am the 1%, I lead myself.